Thousands lined up the streets of Kampala in Uganda to wave at the Pope as he rode in his Popemobile en route to the shrines. Nearly half the population in Uganda is said to be Catholic. In this crowd, however, are faithful who have crossed borders to experience the joy that fleeting moment of seeing the Pope face to face brings them. Matthews Mpumbuka from Malawi is one of them.
Having never been to Israel, I've never been to Vatican or Rome. Now it's like the real church has come home. So everything that we have believed in Africa, the faith that we've had, I think the Pope's coming to Africa is just reinforcing and renewing that faith and belief that we have in Jesus Christ.
Pope Francis apparently made the decision to have his maiden journey to Africa this year on the invitation of President Yoweri Museveni to commemorate the Golden Jubilee celebration of the Uganda martyrs who were declared saints in 1964 by Pope Paul VI.
This is the spot exactly where Charles Lwanga was martyred on the 3rd of June, 1886. Paul VI is lying down, kissing the ground of Namugongo. This is the altar.
About 22 men and boys professing the Catholic and Anglican faiths were burnt to death back in 1886 on the orders of King Kabaka Mwanga. The youthful king, estimated to have been 18 years old at the time of the Holocaust, despised Christians for believing in a king higher than him, given that he was the ruler of the Buganda kingdom. The pontiff visited the two shrines, Anglican and Catholic, and later held Mass at the Catholic shrine. He praised the martyrs for their extraordinary courage in their quest to bring Christ to others, even at the cost of their own lives. The martyrs died a painful death, tied in reeds and cremated alive. The shrine in Namugongo was built in their honor, with a grand new altar having been constructed atop a lake ahead of the Pope's visit. Authorities in Uganda put the entire cost of construction and renovations at this site at 44 billion Uganda shillings, an equivalent of 1.3 billion Kenya shillings. After the Mass in Namugongo, the Pope's motorcade headed for Kololo, where he addressed thousands of youth before visiting the home for the elderly at Nalukolongo later. Pope Francis departs from Uganda tomorrow morning for the Central African Republic, a country embroiled in conflict fueled by religious tension. It was highly doubted that the pontiff would go ahead to CAR, but he affirmed that he is not afraid of being in a war zone. He will return to the Vatican on Monday, completing his first ever tour of Africa. To many Catholic faithful who came close to the pontiff and those who had the rare privilege of touching or being touched by the Holy Father, the visit was epic. Sylvie Chebet, Citizen Weekend.